Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in rockin Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I'd like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. This week is packed with stuff that's fun to read. Gonna start with the Marvel guys because these days it's a great time to be an X-Men fan. This is X-Men number 6. This is the conclusion of the first arc of the I don't want to call it a reboot, I don't know, reanalysis of the X-Men. It's your time to get back into all this. Pick up the Black Cat pack of Powers of X and House of X. Pick up the Black Cat pack of X-Men 1 through 6, of all the side books, Marauders and X-Force, all that good stuff. Like I say, it's a great time to be an X fan. If you're not following all of this, like I say, grab some of those Black Cat packs, grab some of those reprints of those first issues, find the X book that's right for you because there's a lot of cool stuff going on with all this. Like this one, like X-Force number 7. This is the first issue of the next arc, what will be the second trade paperback. So again, grab that first issue or grab the Black Cat pack of 1 through 6 in this week's number 7. Great stuff. Same with Excalibur. That's Excalibur number 7. Same spiel. First issue of the next arc. Check out the first arc, get in on this second one. Like I say, great time to be an X-fan. And it's always a great time to be a fan of this guy. This is your latest issue of Amazing Spider-Man. The enmity between Peter Parker and old JJJ goes back even longer than I do. Great time to be into this title. Pick up this latest issue or any old issue and catch up. Really fun time to be a fan of Amazing Spider-Man. This title's as good as it's been in a long time. Gwen Stacy gets her own book. After many decades. Great to see her in her own title. This one has a whole bevy of covers from some of the top talent in comics. This is your J. Scott Campbell cover, because I'm a little partial to J. Scott Campbell, like a lot of people, but make sure that one makes its way into your box. That's Spider-Man's friend. Then we got a few of his foes. Venom has his own book, of course. Everybody loves Venom. Morbius, the living vampire. A lot of buzz about this guy these days. Everybody looking for Amazing number 101. Everybody getting ready for the cool movie starring Morbius. Actually, it's really cool Spidey villain. Has been for a long time. Let's talk a little bit of Doctor Strange. Here is Spider-Man in a Doctor Strange suit on the cover of Symbiote Spider-Man. Here's Doctor Strange in his main book, The Surgeon Supreme, by one of my all-time favorite guys, Mark Waid. And here's Doctor Strange teaming up with Doctor Doom and Conan the Barbarian. Savage Avengers number 10. This is one of my favorite titles running right now. You can read more about this one in the newsletter. Seems I write a review on this one every single time it comes out because it's great. Great stories, great art. It's a little dark, it's a little heavy for a mainstream Marvel book, but if you like the edgier stuff, if you love Doctor Strange like I do, you're definitely gonna want to pick that one up. Love me some Savage Avengers. Immortal Hulk, another one of my favorite titles, has been since issue number 1. To be really honest, I started buying it just for these incredibly awesome Alex Ross covers, but then the story and art on the inside sucked me in. If you're any kind of Hulk fan, if you're any kind of horror sci-fi fan, you definitely want to check out Immortal Hulk. Pick up a reprint of the first issue, pick up that first trade paperback, and this book will definitely make you a big fan. Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda. It's T'Challa's other title because he's awesome enough to carry 2 books. And Jessica Jones, back in her own book with the little mini. That's the second issue of that one. Good stuff. Marvel's X. I mentioned earlier those awesome Alex Ross covers. Alex Ross is one of the top talents in all of comics history. Marvel's was the book that launched his career many years ago. Now we're finally getting the sequel to it. It's actually kind of a prequel to Earth X, which is really cool. Another one of his all-time great stories. Pick up the first issue. Make sure this one makes its way into your stack. Rise of Kylo Ren, number 3, is your Star Wars book of the week. Been talking up the awesome job Marvel's been doing with all of this Star Wars stuff. Number 1 and number 2 are already sold out. This one's probably already sold out. I hope it's on your subscription list or waiting for you in your sub box because this one's been going fast. Doesn't get much more popular than Kylo Ren these days. And Wolverine's given me an opportunity to talk about some really fun reprint programs that Marvel's got going on. Always looking for an opportunity to get you guys to check out some classic comics, some vintage stuff, because I love the old school stuff. They do a program called True Believers where they reprint a bunch of cool classic comics for just $1. This is one of the ones from this week. Cool Wolverine book there. They do a facsimile program, like this is Marvel Wolverine #1 from back in the day. Facsimile means you get all the original ads. It's an exact duplicate of the old school book. Original ads, letters, pages, all that good stuff. So there's True Believers for just $1. There's facsimiles that are exact duplicate reprints for a standard cover price of like $4. And then they do the Marvel Tales program. This one also features Wolverine this week, where they do 3 big cool classic reprints in one giant chunky comic, sort of like a mini anthology trade paperback. Like I say, always encouraging you guys to check out some cool classics, and these $1 programs, the facsimile programs, the Marvel Tales thing, just can't be beat. It's a great way to pick up some cool classic stuff along with your new books every week. So check one or all of those out this week. Check out some of the other ones that they've done because it's super awesome. On to the DC guys. This is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. This is your newest black label from DC. Everybody talking about Harley and the Birds of Prey these days. You might know that there's a movie out there. Go and see it. I hear it's awesome. I don't get out of my comic store much to see movies, but I do have a chance to read a lot of Harley Quinn, like this one, and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy #6. This is the last issue of this cool mini. It's always fun to see these two teaming up. This series has been a lot of fun. Pick up the Black Cat Pack for the whole thing if you've missed any of them. Batman, Pennyworth, R.I.P., he says, with a 6-month-old spoiler. Yes, it's all right there in the title. If you read Batman 77, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't read Batman 77, well, you missed out on something huger than huge. We loved the big Tom King run. We love the new Tinian run. We love Alfred like every Bat fan does. Make sure this one makes it into your stack today because, well, Alfred deserves his own book. Lots of Batman to talk about, like always. Here's Batman and the Outsiders taking on Ra's al Ghul. And then here's just Batman taking on Ra's al Ghul in the latest issue of Batman vs. Ra's al Ghul from Bat legend Neil Adams. And then here's Batman's Grave from one of my all-time favorite guys, Warren Ellis. I talk about this every single time the book comes out. Google Warren Ellis, buy everything he's ever written, read everything he's ever written because he's awesome. Start with this one and then go to a book called Planetary and you'll see what I'm talking about. Superman #20 from Brian Michael Bendis. Been loving everything Brian Michael Bendis and all these super books, action, Superman, all this good stuff. Here he is taking on Mongol, one of my favorite supervillains. If you're not reading the super books these days, you're really missing out. Pick up Action 1000 and then catch up to as much of this as you can because it's a great time to be a super fan. Superman Heroes is your super special for the week that picks up from the events of Superman 18 and 19. Don't want to say too much about that, but it's all right there on the cover for you. Supergirl teaming up with Wonder Woman is your other super book for the week. This one's just as awesome as all the stuff that Bendis is doing in the other super books. So make sure if you're following Superman or Action that Supergirl makes it onto your list. There she is teaming up with Wonder Woman. And here's the main Wonder Woman book. This is number 751. Her original legacy numbering continues after the incredibly awesome number 750. This is the first issue of the arc after that big anniversary issue. If you missed 750, you missed out on something awesome. So pick up the big chunky anniversary number 750 and then grab this week's 751 because Wonder Woman is one of the best books in comics. The Flash. A lot of buzz about this book this week, and Hawkman are your two other Justice Leaguers in their own title. And in the absence of a Justice League book this week, you get The Terrifics, number 25. Like a lot of things I've been talking about, this is one of my favorite titles these days because great stories, great art, Plastic Man, Metamorpho, some characters you might not know too much about, but you put them all together in one book and it's really awesome. This is the anniversary 25th issue, and it's a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing, which is always super fun. Great stuff. Gotham City Monsters is the last issue of your Frankenstein DC book. Pick up the Black Cat Pack 1 through 6 for that whole thing because we love anything Frankenstein. And then The Dollhouse Family is your Joe Hill book of the week, your Hill House title. A lot of that going on these days. And House of Whispers is your Sandman Universe, formerly known as Vertigo Black Label DC book of the week. You know we love us anything Neil Gaiman around here. Great stuff. And a great week for all the other guys too. Stranger Things is your Dark Horse book of the week. Boy, they've done a great job with these different Stranger Things series. This is the 3rd volume. Pick up the Trades or Black Cat packs for the previous 2 series and then dive into this one. Just as cool, creepy, and interesting as the show is, Dark Horse does a great job with this like they do with everything. Everybody should have a Dark Horse book on their list. Moonshine is your Image book of the week, because everybody loves werewolves. That's one of their more recent hits. And then Tartarus is your first issue, Gotta Have It Image book of the week. There's always a first issue, Gotta Have It Image book of the week. I'm always saying Image does things that the other publishers just don't do. Great fusions of science fiction and horror and sci-fi, action, adventure, fantasy. It's all there. So always recommend you guys grab these first issues and check out their new cool stuff. Deja Thoris, speaking of cool sci-fi, Warlord of Mars is one of my long-time favorite things. Like a lot of people, it's some of the most classic sci-fi there is. Dynamite's done a great job with all of this Warlord of Mars stuff. Love me some Deja Thoris. And then Vampirella Red Sonja is another great book from Dynamite. Dynamite does an excellent job with Vampirella and Red Sonja, and so why not put the 2 of them into the same book? Great stuff. Rising Sun is your IDW book, written by Bay Area favorite Ron Mars. Just throwing this out there to show you that IDW does a lot more than the G.I. Joe and Transformers and all that kind of stuff. Though they do a great job with all that, they also do some cool creator-owned stuff too. Bloodshot and Rye are your 2 Valiant books for the week. Let's do that again. Bloodshot, one of my favorite guys, going all the way back to original Valiant. He's got a movie right around the corner, so you definitely want to be catching up, find out more about Bloodshot. And then Rye, also one of my favorite guys, going all the way back to original Valiant. And they've done an incredible job with both of these characters in the new incarnation of Valiant as well. Shouldn't really say it's a new incarnation. They've been around now like 10 years. But you got to check out Bloodshot. You got to check out Rye. Much like I said about IDW, just a great fusion of science fiction and action, adventure, superhero stuff. Great stuff from those 2 books. Archie 1955. This is your last issue of Archie 1955. There was Archie 1941. Now it's 1955. Archie, the hottest musician in the country. Been loving everything Archie these days. Can't say enough about what they do with their horror line, with stuff that we'll get to in just a minute. Love me some Archie comics. Undone by Blood is your latest issue from Aftershock. Been talking up Aftershock because I love the great job they do with pretty much everything. If you're looking for something non-superhero, something cool, something creepy, you want to pick up this one, or Animosity, or Dark Ark, or one of the many really cool things that Aftershock does. And Lady Mechanica from Benitez Productions. Love Lady Mechanica. Great stories, great art. This guy's super cool. I meet them at conventions and talk to him all the time. This is a very unique title, different from all the other kind of stuff that's out there. A little sci-fi, a little steampunk, a little action adventure. Love me some Lady Mechanica. Amazing art in these books. So pick up the first trade paperback or grab the first issue of this series and see what I'm talking about. Amazing stuff. And a great week for the all ages guys too. Let's talk some Zatanna and the House of Secrets. This is your latest offering from DC Kids. Been talking up this stuff all along. DC Zoom and DC Ink is now DC Kids. They are these big chunky graphic novels meant for the younger reader in your life, but of course they're awesome for anybody that likes to read. Great stories, great art. Obviously they're a little out of continuity. It's sort of their own universe. But we love Zatanna around here. We love these DC Kids books. So pick up that one. Pick up the Mira book, the Harley book. There's all kinds of these DC Kids books out there, and they're all really great. So again, if you got a younger reader in your life, or you're looking for something a little less apocalyptic than your usual stuff, pick up Zatanna and the House of Secrets. Archie and Friends, Winter Wonderland. Been saying, love me some Archie, and yes, they still do all the awesome all-ages stuff that they've always done. So again, if you're looking for something a little lighter, a little more fun, a little less ultra-violent than most comics. Pick up some Archie and have a few laughs at Reggie's expense. Uncle Scrooge is your Disney book of the week, because I love the great job IDW has been doing with all of their Disney stuff. And speaking of awesome and IDW, this is your latest issue of Marvel Action Spider-Man. This is the team up between IDW and Marvel. IDW is doing Marvel's All Ages line, and they're doing a spectacular job of it. So pretty hard to find an adjective for Spider-Man that's not a pun. But anyway, pick this one up. It's the first issue of the second series. Again, if you got a younger reader in your life or you just love some Spider-Man, everybody should have an all ages book on their list, because all the different publishers do a great job with all ages stuff. Lots and lots of great books to check out this week, so get down to your local comic shop, pick up something fun to read. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at black-cat-comics.com. Check out our especially cool Shopify store. Check out the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Check out the podcast at soundcloud.com. Just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.